Thanks for joining Queen of Truth Podcast, where we live, love, and laugh. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel and get yourself a membership. Hey y'all, my babies. Before we start this commentary, let's go ahead with this copyright disclaimer. This video is commentary and opinion based on public available social media content, alleged leaked footage, and viral discussions. All claims mentioned are alleged and should not be interpreted as verified facts. Posted for entertainment purposes only. We do not promote bullying or violence. All statements, commentary, and opinions are alleged. All material used falls under the Fair Use and Fair Dealing Act. All topics are for entertainment purposes only. So let's get into the Romeca Meeks Blackman case, dealing with Contradictory Holly Johnson, who attended court again today as of February 3rd of 2026. Let's talk about what Holly lawyer submitted this protective custody motion, and it actually was signed by the judge as well. And we're going to get into as of why a defense will submit for protective custody. Now, in this video, I might say PC, and that is going to mean protective custody, so I won't be having to say that long word. Later on in this video, we're then going to talk about Carlos and his postings and the fact of how he is doing exactly what we've been stating from the beginning about him, that he definitely played both sides of Romeca and Holly. So as some of us know, and as some of us heard over the internet, Contradictory Holly Johnson reappeared in Cook County Court on February the 3rd of 2026. Some are asking, why is Holly keep having court back to back the way it has been going? But what you have to understand is the courts have status hearing regularly, and that's to update the court and attorneys as to what's going on. So during the proceedings on February 3rd of 2026, the state requested a swab for the firearm and from Holly Johnson. Holly Johnson attorney Ari requests for an expert to perform the swabs. Now, as we all know, the prosecutors have requested a DNA test before. Courts might request another swab test, which usually DNA, sometimes gunshot residue, in a murder case for a few common legal reasons. It's not random. There's usually a strategic or procedural purpose behind it. One way is to confirm or for them to recheck evidence. If earlier swabs were inconclusive, contaminated, improperly collected, or tested with older methods. Let's take a look at Tia Ewing from Fox 32 Chicago on what her stance took in the courtroom on February 3rd.
Yeah, today's the 3rd. So this was filed today, and what this says, and it was entered by the judge today, is the court having found that the people of the state of Illinois have duly requested that the defendant, and in this case we know the defendant is Contradictory Holly Johnson, be produced for the purpose of taking buccal swab samples, which is your inner cheeks. They want DNA swabs from the inner cheeks. It is hereby ordered that the defendant shall be delivered to the custody of a Cook County investigator from the Cook County State's Attorney's Office for the purpose of taking buccal swab samples, and shall be returned to the custody of the Cook County Department of Corrections immediately after said buccal swab samples are obtained. So that's one.
The court may allow or order a new swab to make sure the results are reliable. So another reason where swab tests could be requested could be due to new technology or better testing methods, evidence that was challenged by defense or prosecution, where the original swab was maybe mishandled, a chain of custody was broken, or lab procedures were flawed. The judge may approve another swab to avoid appeals later. Another reason that swab tests could be requested is new suspects or new theories. If investigators shift focus or remove a suspect, they may need fresh swabs to compare against new evidence or rule someone out. Another reason is to strengthen the case before the trial. In a murder case, courts want evidence to hold up under heavy security. A second swab can confirm prior findings, eliminate reasonable doubt, or even protect the case from being overturned on an appeal. On the other hand, there's a such thing as court-ordered fairness, where sometimes the defense requests a new swab to ensure the defendant's rights are protected. Judges often allow it to show the process was fair and through. But the thing about it, the prosecutors is the one requesting for the swab from Holly. Even after charges are filed, judges can still allow additional testing if it's relevant and lawful. And that's like a post-indictment or pre-trial motions. Bottom line, a second swab test usually means the court is being extra careful. Not, that something could be shady happening, and who's to say that it's not. But in murder cases, accuracy matters more than speed. I'm going to give us something to think about. Carlos was removed in this case as a witness. All of a sudden, prosecutors asked for another swab test. Could this be where they're trying to see if there are any more fingerprints on the firearm that Contradictory used to unalive Romeca Blackman with? We, the people, would like to know if Carlos' fingerprints was on that firearm. Only time will tell, but it will unfold. Just listen to how one of his homeboys, when you listen to the message, it's just like he incriminated Carlos online. And when I'm speaking of incriminate Carlos, do y'all remember when it stated the timing that Carlos and Holly walked out of Carlos's apartment, and the timing that they stood on Cermak Road while Romeca dropped her son off, and the timing that Romeca walked into school and came across Carlos and Holly? Well, from this clipping recording, it clearly shows that Carlos was reached out to by Romeca the morning of September 8th of 2025, and he knew that Romeca was on her way to drop her son off. So tell me if y'all think that this was an ambush or not.
Why stop? Why get out your car? Why engage with them?
Facts.
You called Los 18 times that morning, and he ignored every one of your phone calls except for the first one he picked up, and he told you, no, he can't. He said, no, don't drop Lil Los off. Shit, you already late, so you might as well just go ahead and drop him off. After that, he didn't answer the phone for her no more. She called him 18 times in a row, and then she sent him 2 text messages.
Now, this is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. This confirms the timing that Romeca posted with the letter that she left for Amir and Pope put it in his lunchbox. This confirmed that time that Carlos knew that she was leaving, and it also confirms the fact that he talked to her. And I myself have been saying that I felt like he talked to her the morning of September the 9th of 2025. And it comes out he did talk to her. So he knew of the timing that she called, and he knew of how much time it was going to take for her to get there. That, to me, collides with the wait time that Carlos and Holly waited on Cermak Street. Because all they supposedly done was put the baby in the car and leave. They waited there over 29 minutes. But why? But again, the recording clearly shows that Carlos' homeboy incriminated him with the timestamps. When Carlos' homeboy was on that panel stating that Carlos stopped answering Romeca after all the calls she made, that right there let it be known he no longer wanted to answer her because he wanted to set it up with Holly to be out there on Cermak Road as Romeca dropped her son off. Now let's jump back to Holly and about this protective custody.
But some of them give you a little more detail. Again, I'm just giving you what the documents say. Again, this is not for me. This is straight from the documents, and I just want to be clear on that. So this is this says motion for buccal swab samples, and I'm just reading it straight from the paper, so there's no confusion here. Now come the people of the state of Illinois by their attorney, which is the Cook County State's Attorney, Eileen O'Neill Burke, State's Attorney for Cook County, Illinois, Assistant State's Attorney, and move blah 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 this honorable court to order the defendant to submit to the taking of buccal swab samples, and then they cite a rule. And in this case, it's the Supreme Court Rule 413, parentheses A7. In support of this motion, the people state, number one, defendant Quadasia Johnson is charged in the above captioned matter with the offense of first-degree murder. Number two, the firearm involved in this matter was swabbed for biological material. These swabs will be submitted to the Illinois State Police Crime Laboratory for DNA analysis. So they're trying to see whose DNA is on the weapon. Is it solely Quadasia Holly Johnson? Is it someone else's DNA also on that weapon? And so they're trying to get to the root of that. Whose DNA was on the weapon? A buccal swab.
In Cook County murder case specifically, in high-profile cases, prosecutors often seek DNA swabs to lock down the narrative early, anticipate defense arguments, and avoid later claims of incomplete investigation. It's about case strength and protection against appeal. It's stated that state authorities request swabs from guns and suspects in murder cases primarily to collect DNA evidence that links a specific individual to the weapon or crime scene. This touch DNA or handler's DNA, gathered from areas like grips and triggers, is used to identify perpetrators, support prosecutions, or exclude innocent individuals. Key reasonings for swabbing in murder investigations is because of linking suspect to weapons, connecting suspect to the scene, and identifying touch DNA. What that touch DNA means is even without blood or saliva, minimum skin cells left on surfaces like the gun's magazine release or safety lever can provide enough DNA for identification. Now, I do have to state what the DNA swabs do not prove by themselves. They do not prove intent. They do not automatically prove murder. They do not defeat self-defense on their own, and they do not mean guilt. DNA only shows presence or contact, not why it happened. Now, judges approve these swabs because they are minimally invasive, they're standard investigative practice, and it's important for truth finding. Therefore, that is why Holly lawyer Ari requested for an expert to perform the swabs. So Holly, after all this time, now y'all are requesting for protective custody. You talking about protective custody, you might well go ahead and go on and flip on your boy, because if you ain't telling the truth, them DNA results will. Or look at how you will be spending the rest of your life with these Cook County female jailbirds.
Ain't no of y'all get locked up. Let me see. What the fuck? Angela. Yes. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you. I'm in this bitch.
Now, Holly, you don't flip out on Carlos. This is exactly how you're going to be living in that previous clip with the jailmates at Cook County Jail. But let's talk about how the protective custody simply means the jail separates someone from the general population because being around other inmates could be dangerous. A lawyer asks for protective custody when they believe their client is at risk of harm. It's been stated that Holly is alleged now to be at harm, and mind you, she was arrested and locked up on December the 3rd. It has only been 60 days. So why was the request for protective custody was not beforehand? I don't know. But after 60 days, now y'all asking for protective custody seems kind of strange. But a lawyer asks for protective custody when they believe their client is at risk of harm. And the common reasons could be due to this is a high-profile murder case, or emotionally charged case. When a murder case gets media attention, other inmates may target the person because they recognize the case, they have opinions about the victim, or they want revenge. More reason a defense lawyer would ask for protective custody is because risk of retaliation inside the jail. In Cook County, people charged with murder can become targets if the case involves a child, a parent, or public outrage, there are street, gang, or neighborhood connections, or the defendant is perceived as vulnerable. A lawyer's job is to prevent their client from being assaulted or unalive while awaiting trial. Most of the time, women charged in violent cases are sometimes placed in protective custody because other inmates may harass or threaten them. The case involves domestic or relationship conflict, or the defendant is isolated or emotionally vulnerable. Another reason for protective custody is mental or emotional strain. Murder cases bring intense stress. If a person is overwhelmed, having anxiety or emotional distress, at risk of being exploited. Protective custody can limit exposure and reduce harm. Which one you think Holly falls in? But before you place Holly in a category of where she belongs, let's listen to her baby daddy, who once was a witness. Homeboy give the internet information that Holly is telling the inmates in Cook County Jail why she's in jail. And baby, she ain't telling them that she's in jail due to the unalive of Romeca Blackman.
That she in there for her 10th shoplifting offense.
Her what?
They don't know what she in there for.
You said what?
Unless they know
She
her.
told all her cellmates that she in there for her 10th shoplifting offense.
Oh shit.
So they don't know what she's in there for.
She embarrassed?
Huh?
She embarrassed?
Embarrassed or what?
About why she in there, obviously. Why she lying?
No, but you don't want people all up in your case and in your business. So you tell them you tell them what you need to tell them to keep them the fuck out of your business. Because who gives a fuck about a female that's in there for shoplifting? Nobody.
Exactly.
Shit, you just a thief and they gotta watch their shit around you. That's it, that's all.
Not you just a thief, I'm screaming.
Damn, she embarrassed. That's sad.
Exactly.
No, it's not embarrassing, Black Church. It's just how you gotta carry yourself and how you gotta move in jail. You don't talk about what you really in there
The
for.
fucking COs don't talk?
If I'm in there for killing 4 niggas, you think I'm about to go in there and tell motherfuckers, yeah, I'm in here for killing 4 niggas? Hell no. I'm in here for beating up a police officer.
But the COs don't talk?
Yeah, the COs talk. But I mean, we don't know if they talk.
Nah, the COs ought to
and
talk.
The COs technically.
So you guys heard it all. So it's alleged that Holly is in jail, telling her in the cellmates that she is currently in Cook County Jail due to several shoplifting charges. And I'm guessing she's telling them about she's under another charge. So if the case, if she's in there telling the people that she's in there for shoplifting and not for first degree murder, then what purpose will it be for Ari, her lawyer, to file protective custody to place her in? Because nobody cares and is going to retaliate against you and make a big deal about you shoplifting. But they definitely will make a big deal about a storyline that's going viral about unaliving someone that was unarmed after they dropped their son off at school. So it's like the alleged supporters of Holly is basically discrediting what Holly's lawyer is presenting in court. If the defense lawyer is presenting for protective custody, stating that Holly is in harm or she was threatened, why would her supporters run to the internet and tell the people that Holly is in jail, telling the cellmates the reason of her in jail is due to her shoplifting and not a first-degree murder charge. That's conflicting information. I think Holly supporters at this point really need to shut up, because y'all are making things worse for her, and it's already worse. Just stop at this point. I don't know what kind of supporters are they, but I would never be a supporter for Romeca and jump on the internet and talk about her being a thief and laugh at the things that it's alleged to be said by someone that I support. But anyways, a protective custody does not mean freedom. It usually means more time in the cell, limited interactions with other inmates, fewer programs or movement, and sometimes feel more isolating. So it's safer. So while it's safer, it's harder mentally. When you play the part of judge, jury, and executioner, you can't make any legal mistakes. So my opinion, place Holly as in general population. Whatever will be just that. So is Holly daily life in Cook County Jail a struggle for survival, marked by isolation? Is she really getting constant threats? But if she goes into protective custody, that's her spending 23 hours a day in solitary confinement. I'm sure Holly's situation in protective custody will soon raise uncomfortable questions about justice, isolation, and the psychological toll of extreme punishment. Her survival behind those bars should challenge herself and others to rethink the human cost of taking someone's life. Unjustifiable. Is isolation and threat the worst punishment for Holly? Y'all drop your comments below and let me know what you think. Now let's talk about Carlos Smith, the guy who is the baby father of Romeca and Holly. Clearly the guy who Holly caught a body for and got her caught up in Cook County Jail. Recently, Carlos posted 2 videos back to back of 2 women, Romeca and Holly. In both their captions, it stated, "I love you." This is his first time ever posting Holly since she's been incarcerated. He got "I love you" #Holly. But when you go and look at Romeca, he has "I love you" #Romeca with a heart. Do y'all honestly think that this guy loves anybody, even both of his baby mothers? We don't think so, because if he did, Holly would be out of jail and Romeca would still be alive. The saddest thing about this situation is one woman is gone forever. The other is pregnant, incarcerated, and facing a murder charge. Those realities are not equal. Posting them as if they shows a dangerous lack of awareness. This isn't love. It's poor judgment dressed up as sentiment. When your choices leave permanent damage, you don't get to treat pain like content. Publicly straddling both stories doesn't honor either woman. It censures the one person who isn't carrying the weight of the consequences. No accusations, no speculations, just accountability for tone, timing, and impact. Because this isn't entertainment. It's real lives. Justice for Romeca. Stay updated with me for more updates. Cordasia Holly Johnson is to appear back in court on March the 3rd of 2026. And while Carlos is currently using both of his baby mothers to antagonize ones through the internet, just know his day is coming as well. That's why he didn't attend court this last time on February the 3rd. Y'all think he's scared because he's thinking that he's in the boat to be arrested? Stay tuned.
Yeah, it's Queen Stat, baby, the one and only, the heavy hitter, heart strong, mouth slick, vibe heavy, love, lean, laugh, but don't play with her. Queen step in pressure when she walk. If it ain't real, she don't even wanna talk. Love deep, laugh loud, but she built from the grind. Cut different, ain't another in a kind. Queen step in pressure when she walk. If it ain't real, she don't even wanna talk. Love deep, laugh loud, but she built from the grind. Cut different, ain't another in a kind. Pray for peace, but she ready for the smoke. what she mean, don't care who broke. Put respect on her name, no cap, no flex. She done level through pain, now she cashing them checks. Go! She divide the energy, the storm to come. Talk slick, better pray with your mom. Step ain't for the weak, she a boss in the field, got grace and grit, but she keep it too real, don't need no crew, she can stand on her name. Queen status, only heavy hitter in the game. Queen step in pressure when she walk. If it ain't real, she don't even wanna talk. Love deep, laugh loud, but she built from the grind. Cut different, ain't another in a kind. Queen step in pressure when she walk. If it ain't real, she don't even wanna talk. Love deep, laugh loud, but she built from the grind. Cut different, ain't another in a kind.